You wake up thirsty, you walk to the kitchen, fill a glass from the tap, and drink. Total time, 30 seconds. The water is clear, cold, and completely safe. You don't think about it. You never think about it. But for 99.9% of human history, that glass of water didn't exist. Not the tap, not the filter, not the clean glass. Your ancestors woke up thirsty and walked to a muddy river, a stagnant pond, or a rain-filled rock hollow. They cupped their hands and drank water swarming with bacteria, parasites, and animal feces, and they didn't get sick. Or rather, most of them didn't die. You would. Within 24 hours, you'd be curled on the ground, vomiting, burning with fever, your gut shredded by pathogens your body has never met. So how did they survive? The answer will make you question everything you think about hygiene, progress, and how weak our modern bodies have become. Let's start with a hard fact. According to the WHO, over 2 billion people today still lack access to safely managed drinking water. And each year, 500,000 children die from diarrheal diseases caused by contaminated water. That's in the 21st century with antibiotics, oral rehydration salts, and hospitals. Now imagine no hospitals, no medicine, no knowledge of germs. That was every human before about 150 years ago. And yet, humans spread across every continent, from jungles to deserts, always finding and drinking water that would send a modern tourist to the ICU. How? Not by boiling it. They didn't have pots that could withstand direct fire until relatively recently. Not by filtering it through charcoal or sand that came much later. No. The answer is inside your own body, or rather what's missing from it. Your intestines are home to trillions of bacteria. That's your microbiome. It helps digest food, trains your immune system, and protects you from invaders. But here's the shock. Your microbiome is radically different from your ancestors. Modern humans, especially those born in cities via C-section, fed formula, given antibiotics for every fever, have a shallow, fragile gut ecosystem. We've sterilized our food, our water, our surfaces. Our immune system has never had to fight real battles. So when a single nasty bacterium like Giardia or E. coli enters your water, your gut panics. It has no backup, no experience, no trained soldiers. You get explosive diarrhea, dehydration, and possibly death. Ancient humans had the opposite. From birth, they drank water from natural sources. That water contained a low, steady dose of microbes. Not the deadly dose from a sewage plant, but enough to constantly challenge and strengthen their gut. Their microbiome was dense, diverse, and resilient. It contained bacteria that modern science is only now discovering. Species that can neutralize toxins, break down parasites, and crowd out pathogens. In 2016, scientists compared the gut bacteria of a remote Amazonian tribe, the Yanomami, with that of average Americans. The Yanomami had nearly double the bacterial diversity. They carried microbes that haven't been seen in Western guts for centuries. Those microbes act like a living shield, but biology wasn't enough. Ancient humans also knew something you don't: how to read water. They didn't need a laboratory test. They used observation passed down for thousands of generations. Fast-moving water over rocks is safer than still water. The splashing aerates and exposes microbes to sunlight, which kills many of them. Water from a sandy bank, filtered naturally through feet of sand, is cleaner than muddy bank water. They learned to avoid water downstream from animal crossings or beaver dam. They knew that certain plants, like watercress or cattails, only grow in clean water. Those plants were their litmus test. They also used natural flocculants. Crushed seeds from the moringa tree, for example, can bind to dirt and bacteria and settle them to the bottom. Indigenous groups in Sudan have used moringa to purify water for thousands of years. You've never heard of it because you have chlorine tablets. And when water looks suspicious, they didn't boil it, no pots. They heated stones in a fire and dropped them into a wooden or animal skin container filled with water. The stones brought the water to a near boil, killing many pathogens. This technique has been documented in ancient North America and Europe. It was slow, but it worked. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your obsession with cleanliness has made you vulnerable. You buy antibacterial wipes, filtered water bottles, and hand sanitizer. And your gut has become a monoculture, easily wiped out. Studies show that children who grow up on farms, drinking from wells and playing in soil, have significantly lower rates of asthma, allergies, and autoimmune diseases. This is the hygiene hypothesis. Your immune system needs practice. Without regular low-grade exposure to microbes, it overreacts to harmless things like pollen or peanuts. Your ancestors drank from puddles and lived. You drink from a tap and feel safe. But if you were dropped into their world, you'd be dead in a day. Not because the water was poison, but because you are too clean. In 2015, a gastroenterologist named Dr. James Kinross wrote about a thought experiment. Take a healthy modern adult, sterilize their gut with a week of strong antibiotics, then fly them to a remote village in Madagascar and let them drink from the local stream. Within hours, they'd have severe dysentery, but a local child drinking the same water would be fine. Why? Because the child's microbiome co-evolved with that water. The adult's microbiome was built on tap water, pizza, and hand sanitizer. That's not evolution's fault. That's your fault. You've never been truly thirsty? Not the way they were. Crawling to a seep in a dry riverbed, scooping mud and water together, drinking life from dirt. You've never had to decide between dehydration and dysentery. You've never watched half the children in your camp die from a single bad well. And yet, they survived. They thrived. They spread across the planet. Not because they were immune to disease, they did get sick. But their bodies had a resilience that yours has lost. A resilience built on constant, low-dose exposure, on knowledge carved into culture, on a gut that was a battlefield, not a sterile room. Tonight, when you pour yourself a glass of clean water, don't just drink it. Think about it. Think about the 300,000 years of ancestors who had no such luxury. Think about the billions of bacteria that lived in their guts. Bacteria that are now extinct inside you. Think about the fact that your stomach, so proud and modern, would fail where a Neolithic child's stomach succeeded. We didn't conquer unclean water. We hid from it. We built pipes and filters and treatment plants. And that's fine. It saved billions of lives. But it also made us forget that we are animals. Animals designed to drink from rivers, to eat dirt, to live with microbes. You are not stronger than your ancestors. You are just better protected. And if the lights ever go out, if the taps ever run dry, your first enemy won't be the dark. It will be a glass of river water. And that glass will win.